Hello everybody. Welcome. I am just kind of in the midst of finishing up here. Man, the time just flew by and it was time to start before I realized it. So, hang on one second. Let me get to the comments here. What are you guys up to today? I hope when you come in you will pop on and say hello. Let me know that you are here. And what am I doing? I don't even know. All of a sudden you get so behind and then your brain is just trying to catch up with what you're doing, right? Oh my goodness. And I feel like I am always behind. How about you guys? Do you feel like you are just always in a rush all the time, no matter what you're doing? I think sometimes, especially as women, I think we have so many obligations and things to do. I think it's easy to feel behind. Okay, so today we are going to work on this journal that we started yesterday from Cards and Envelopes. So we got it put together, although it wasn't without a lot of chaos, probably. I guess that's the best way to describe it. I had a lot of chaos going on. Let me see. I think this is going to be an okay place. All right, so I made one, and with all of the confusion that I probably caused, I decided to do another one, right? Hi, Tina. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Estella's here. Hey, everybody. Tina. I hope that you will. You started watching me on YouTube. I tell you what, yesterday, this project that I did yesterday was so confusing. I was afraid I had just completely confused everyone to the point of nobody would want to try it. And so I took the live stream off of YouTube, and I was going to go ahead and just redo it and just record a video. And then I'm going to show you what happened after I started that. I'm like, oh my gosh. So then I ran out of this craft colored, the cards and envelopes. So I went to two of the big box craft stores, and what they wanted to charge for a pack, I'm like, I'm not paying that, because by then they didn't have any at Joann's. Then I went over to Hobby Lobby, and what they wanted for the pack, I'm like, no, I'm not paying that, because I know next week, if it's not on sale this week, then next week it will, so I'll figure out something else. So I'm going to show you, so I'll show you in a second, what I'm talking about, what else I did that was just another issue. Hi, Diane. So we've had people ask if I could show this again, and I said yes, because I certainly can give you better instructions, more succinct, and how to do it without just feeling like you're confused, I'm confused, everybody's confused about, the fun little easy project. So since I didn't have any more of the, the nice cards and envelopes, I found a bunch of these at an estate sale one time. I mean, just a giant handful. Well, they were in a little clear box, and I just, I bought them. So I have them for lots of things. And I thought, oh, this would be perfect. And you know what? They don't have to be, to make this little project, they don't have to be the 5x7 cards and envelopes, right? So here we just have envelopes, and I have cut pieces of paper to mimic the cards. And remember, we took two cards and put them back to back and glued them and inserted them in this envelope. So we took two envelopes. We had 4 envelopes. 4 cards, 4 envelopes. So here's what we did. We took 2 of the envelopes and sliced the tiniest amount off the end. And then we put 2 cards back to back. And then they are glued together in this section, and we insert that, and then you've got like a fold over to make pages like this. So we did that in 2 of the envelopes. So I thought, oh my goodness, why do that when I could just go ahead and cut the envelopes, and I will try to show how to assemble it real quickly, and then I will insert them in. Okay, so this is what happens. Don't do it like that. This is what happens. I get all of this put together, and I did it. It was real easy. My new method to show you worked out super easy. I don't think you'll be as confused, but this is what happened. When I got ready to slide these in here, because it's the full, you know, card size. So it's going to give some stability to the page, the foundation part right here, right? So I get this in here, and that's as far as it will go, because it's glued here where we put the flap down. I'm like, oh my goodness. And you know what? I could cut enough off and slide it in, but you know, then it's going to not be the full thing and not have as much stability. But you know, I might not care. I'll probably do that anyway and save it. But I just wanted to show you what had happened, because I want you to think about doing it, you know, kind of in the order that we had done yesterday. So take your 4 envelopes, take 2 of them and slice the little section off, and then, you know, do your 2 cards back to back, slide them in, okay, and glue those down. Then you're going to take this, just like we did yesterday, you're going to take the flaps. Now don't be confused by this. It looks almost like it's got 2 flaps, but it was like a self-gummed thing. I'm sure that that's not going to work at all anymore, right? And so the color though is kind of distracting. But here's the flap. And so where the flap bends, the original part of the flap, you want to score 3/8 of an inch out. Okay, and you do that on all 4 of the envelopes. Okay, now for the part that I totally confused everyone about. We are going to assemble this real quick. And after yesterday, you're probably like, there's no way she's going to do that very quickly. Okay, are you ready? So one is the front cover, one is the back. Hi, Martha. Okay, so here we go. Phew. We're going to take one of these that has the that has our extra page fold out, and we got to turn this way, and you're going to flip it over like this, and then you want to make sure you know where your little where these are. And we're just going to slide this in here like this. And so the crease that we made, that's 3/8 of an inch from the original one, that's where we want to place this along this envelope's original spot, right? Okay, so I'm just going to put a little glue here and get this glued down. You guys, when I show you how this is going to work, and you're just going to be like, oh man, I wish you would have showed that yesterday. I may have people who'll never come back again after that. They're probably like, oh my goodness, that was the most confusing thing ever. So we're going to slide that in and match those creases. And now we want to kind of put this, you see how this envelope flap is at an angle, right? So we want to make sure that our cards or the envelope things are, you know, pretty well lined up. So well, I don't know if you can see that. So find something, find a grid or something and try to line them up. That's pretty close. So we've got that like that. Now a lot of these, this part is not going to be something that you need to close up, because not all envelopes are made like this. But we'll go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to go ahead and close. You know, and like I said yesterday, if you planned to use some of it for pockets, you could. Okay, so now here's the trick. Take this one and fold it over. And you can just fold this one over. Well, you can fold this flap out of the way so it's not distracting. So here you go. Here's your next one. So all we did was we took the one we glued in and we folded it over. Okay, so here's its original score mark, right? And I'm going to just put it down so I have a little bit more to work with. Okay, so here's the other one that has the extra pages in it. Deborah. So the score line on the top one matched to the original fold on the bottom one. Yes, 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 yes. Real people. I am real. I'll do all kinds of mistakes for you. So yes, so here's Here's the original score line. Here's the one we made at 3/8 of an inch over. And that's the one we want to match up. So I'm just gonna do that so maybe you can see it a little bit better. And I'll put a little glue on. But oh my goodness, you guys, this is so much easier when you look at it done like this. It's not nearly as confusing. And so we're just gonna line that up in here and then just put that basically where the other one is, and then make sure you're kind of doing it, you know, fairly straight at the bottom here. And that one's not. And sometimes, you know what, you can kind of do it like this as well. Oh my goodness. So you want to make sure that your open flap is facing down on the one on your right hand, okay? And so we're going to line that up, and I want to make sure that I'm even down here, even across here, and then make sure that you're lined up here. That's a little bit, you know, I think it's almost easier if you kind of line it up, hold part of it in place, and then put some of your glue down. And now what have we got going on up here? Okay. So then we're just kind of squirt some of this down so you can easily hold that in place. Well, I don't know if easy would be the correct term, but it's probably easier to do it like that. Then you have it all lined up. There we go. I'm just gonna, and you know what? This is sometimes when some of these little needle nose bottles come into use. Maybe. I think it had just enough glue. It kind of stuck a little bit. Okay, there we go. And then this has these funny little parts that come up. The one yesterday did too. They came up in a different spot. But boy, you guys, how's this for a junk journal? This is truly junky, right? So let's just go ahead and glue this part all down and get this sealed. Okay, so there we've got that one. Now let's just flip this one over like this and get the next one. So this is going to be our back one. And so remember, the open part goes down. I'm just going to fold this a little better so I can see where it goes. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit. I tell you what, some of the other kinds of glue actually will give you a little bit more wiggle room than this because I put such a little bit on here. Okay, so I'm going to line it up across here. And then I've got something to kind of be my guide. Okay. So it looks pretty good. And it doesn't have to be exact. There. Okay. Now, the one thing about how small these little flaps are, you'll see in a second what I think is going to be kind of the issue. But this made it so much easier. For any of you who were here yesterday, did that make it seem easier? Hi, Molly. Did that seem easier this time? Less confusing? And so then there you go. And if you wanted to do more than the 4, you would just keep doing it that way. Now you do this one and you stick the next envelope in here. I think I had another one. Let me see. Yeah, here's another one. So you just stick your other one in here. And then when you're, oops, remember this part goes down. So you just do that and then fold it back and there's your next place to do it. And the next one, the flap goes down, stick it in there, and then when you're ready to do the next one, fold it back. Doesn't that make a lot more sense, you guys? Oh my goodness. I was so glad when I figured out an easier way to show you how to do it. Now, what you do at the end of that is you just take this. Oh, look, this isn't going to be too bad. Although I think I've got them a little bit crooked because look, my flap is not, my flap, I'm going to have to trim that flap a tiny bit or it's going to be in, well, I think it'll be fine. Let's just do it like this. So we're just going to glue all this down. Be sure to glue. These are going to be kind of like little gussets, and together they're going to make your spine. So just put some glue down there, put it down here, give it a good rub so it works really well. And there you have it. Now you can do this. You guys, I have been waiting for someone to show up for some work, a handyman to show up. He was supposed to be here at noon. Of course, that didn't happen. And then later they tell my husband, oh, well, we set a window of 12 to 4. And of course, now that we're on here, they are here. So I may have to go ahead and go see what's going on so I can tell them what is going on that we need help with. We had somebody come to do something for us and they totally didn't do it correctly. And my husband finally said, no, I think I'm just gonna call that done. Okay, so now here we go. Here would be your cards. And look, you can even do it with paper. Look, we've made a tall, skinny one, you guys. There you go. And so here's our little spine back here that we would decorate. We're going to have to, all of this is going to be covered up. Now this, because the flaps are so much smaller on here, that did not make something very pretty. Because we have the same thing that's going on here, but it matches the rest of the book, right? And so what we're going to do next is I brought out some papers that we can use for, see here, does he have questions? Okay, you guys, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go and figure out what's going on. And so if you want to watch for a few minutes, I'll pop back on and we'll continue and we'll kind of take a look at some of the things that we're going to use. Or how about we just come back, I'll just come back tomorrow and we'll work on this. But here's some of the things that we have pulled out. I pulled out some dictionary pages. I've got some music sheets. And I decided, I first thought I would just put in some, I thought this floral would look pretty on some of the pages. It's not going to be all just, you know, found things. So this was new. But then I was trying to find something, you know, that had some kind of color that was going to work to make the spine. And then I thought, well, maybe instead of that, maybe I would make the spine out of this and use, you know, one of these for the cover. So I'm yet to decide on what that is. So let's just work on that tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I gotta go. This was my husband's project and he didn't find somebody to start with that worked out. So and it's a storage thing. That sweet man, he wanted to do something and provide us some more storage out in the garage. And I laughed because there's not much that I'm going to put out there because I can't put all my papers and stuff out there. So I don't know what he thinks we're going to put out there, but it will indeed be some more storage. I will talk to you later, you guys. Tomorrow I'll be back on again at the same time, 3 p.m. Eastern, and we will continue. Thanks so much for popping on, you guys. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.